Wait, why is anime titties allowed? Hi, I'm Slugg. This was meant to be a how to get better aim video at first, but then I figured out that getting into the actual weapon stats before getting the aim up made more sense. And that was a huge task. I had to do a lot of research and figured that the shotguns, there was so much data that I just had to do it in the video by itself. So for a long time I've been a hater of the tactical shotgun, but seeing it more and more play on high level gameplay, high professional level gameplay, I felt like I had to give it a chance. I really didn't understand why they would choose the low damage and the high inconsistency the weapon has over the double pump, which I've been a huge fan of. Psychos, a Danish professional player, was really trying to explain the tactical to me, why it's powerful, and why it has a spot in professional gameplay. And I've went into more of these stats and analyzed the speed and the different damage it could potentially do with other shotguns or other loadouts. So what I did, I streamed around 30 games with different loadouts using the tactical shotgun. First thing I tried was using the pump shotgun and tactical shotgun, and I was pretty happy with that. That was alright. But I just didn't understand why we wouldn't just run 2 pumps, as it seemed superior. And then we have I also used the tactical shotgun with the tactical SMG. And this was actually pretty okay. It seems pretty weird to have 2 aggressive weapons like that. But the thing is, the SMG just shreds through materials, where you can play it very aggressively, where if you have the high ground, you can ghost peek with the tactical shotgun, as I'm going to show you here. Ghost peeking with the tactical shotgun is very powerful, and you can't really use that with the double pump. What you can do is you can pump, go down, wait for the reload, and pump again, which is slower than the tactical. And then if you lose the high ground, then you have the tactical SMG to just shred through and just get on top of them. Also, what I tried was only running the tactical with no other weapons on the side other than my AR and sniper rifle, and this would mean that I had another space for extra healing or extra nades. But my conclusion with that was that if I had the extra healing, I would usually just die in the fight because I didn't have enough damage with my shotguns, with the tactical. So having the extra healing didn't really matter when you're dead, even though I've been a huge fan of running 2 healing spots with the pump before the nerf to the shotguns. And also, just instead of healing, we could run grenades. We suddenly have room for that, and that was actually really nice running either C4 or clingers. So that was alright, but I feel like still the pump into tag was the best option with the tactical, or heavy into tag, the same idea. So first thing we're gonna go over is just the damage of the different weapons, the different shotguns. And the green deals 80 damage, or 160 to headshot if you hit all 10 pellets. Both the pump shotgun and the tactical shotgun has 10 pellets, where they deal 10% of the total damage, where the heavy shotgun only has 5, so that would be 20% of the total damage. So the green does 80 damage and the blue does 85. And the headshot multiplier is just 2, so it's pretty basic, pretty simple. And the magazine size is 5 for the pump, 8 for the tactical, and 7 for the heavy shotgun. The pump shotgun's structured damage is 100, which means it will not destroy wood in one shot, but it will destroy brick and metal in one shot when it's newly built. Where if we have the tactical, we need 2 shots to destroy wood brick and metal when it's newly built, when it's just put down. And the heavy shotgun is the same as the pump, where it destroys brick and metal first shot, but 2 shots for wood. The tactical shotgun's damage is very, very low. It's only 67 with the gray one, and that means it only deals 134 headshot if you hit all pellets. And I'm gonna get more into the inconsistency of the tactical later, but it is very hard to hit all pellets headshot, and it only deals 134, so it won't even kill a guy through minis. Where the green deals 140 headshot and the blue deals 148, which means we're close to killing people with minis, but it means still that it doesn't one-shot through minis, where both the pump and the heavy does that. And the heavy shotgun damage is 73.5 and 73.5 for the purple and 77 for the orange, where the headshot damage has the multiplier still, so it's 2.5, which means that the purple deals 183 headshot damage and the orange deals 192. And the spread of the heavy is so consistent that you will hit this very often. So let's get into the inconsistency. I'm gonna put up a picture here where we can look at the different crosshairs, and the crosshairs aren't exact as the with the spread of the pellets, but it's getting close, and we can kind of get an understanding of the different weapons like this. So in the top left we have the ADS, which is aiming down sights. So when you hold down your right click, which means that the spread gets lesser, and you can really see the difference because of the tactical pump and the heavy. The tactical is very inconsistent even while ADSing, where the pump is I would say consistent and the heavy is very consistent. And from hipfire, mostly the tactical is very, very inconsistent. You will almost never hit 67 unless you're up close and like all in their face, where the pump will hit it from a further range and the heavy will also hit it from a further range, more consistent. Also the spread is dependent on rarity. At least with the green pump and the blue pump, there's a very small difference. It's nothing I've went too much into, because you get a good understanding of the different weapons just from this. Now, let's get into the speed of the different shotguns, and we're gonna start off with the swapping. So going to the screen, I've made a nice picture here, where it should be understood as if we use the pump here, and we have the pump here, that this is a double pump. And the flashes means when I went into the recording, I was counting the milliseconds from the first flash of the first shotgun shot to the second flash of the second shotgun shot. That should give us a rough estimate, and all of these millisecond, all of this data should be taken with a grain of salt, as there's a lot of factors going into it. I might have been 1 millisecond too slow in some of them, but we should still get a rough estimate, where the pump into pump is 19 milliseconds for the second hit and 37 milliseconds for the 3 flashes. And pump into tech, I have the damage down here, and pump into tech is dependent on the rarity of how you should use it. It means that if you have the green pump into the gray tech, the worst rarity, like this, you see it over here, damage is calculated with lowest rarity of weapons. So if we have the 80 from the pump and the 67 from the tech, that means we get 147 damage, which is damage you don't want to be close at, because you're not hitting for 150 if you hit all of your pellets. Where if you get a a blue pump and a green pump and a green tactical, you will deal 150 exact if you hit every pellet from both shotguns. And this is not very consistent, but it means that you have the chance of killing a guy through minis. So what is interesting here in this top section is that double pumping, pump into pump is 37 milliseconds, and pump into tag into pump is 37 milliseconds as well. I thought the pump tag pump would be a bit faster, but I did this test a couple of times and I came up with the same result, that these are the same speed. So we can tell that the pump into heavy is the fastest of all three, and the pump into tag comes right behind it. So this means that you will get, if you have the green pump into green tag, you will kill a guy with minis if you hit every shot in 16 milliseconds, which is pretty impressive, considering that you use 19 milliseconds going pump into pump. That 3 milliseconds is very important. But going down to the next section here, this is just using the tag with the tag. So tag, that's 2 flashes. That's 135 damage, very low damage, and that is if we use the gray tag as well, where it would be 148 with the blue tag. But we also have the chance of headshots, but this is not considered as yes, if you had a headshot, they will die on the second shot always. And tag is 34 milliseconds. Which is almost the fastest one, but it comes behind some stats down here. For example, heavy into tag into heavy is 31 milliseconds. So heavy tag heavy is faster than tag, which is very interesting to me. And if you have heavy, it's only 29 milliseconds. So that is the fastest. Which isn't really a surprise to me, but it's nice to have some numbers on it. Where if we go pump, tag, it's 33 milliseconds. And that is if we go pump and then we stay on the tag for another shot. Which is very... I like these stats a lot, and this means that I'm going to be using the pump tag more. Because we deal with 214 if we hit every pellet with the lowest rarity. So if with higher rarity, we could get better numbers. And here is the heavy tag 2, which is on the iffy side. That's why I've had this exclamation mark to signal that if you miss one pellet, the guy might not die. And this is only if you miss the shot from the pump and the tag, like, yeah, one of each, but you're using the tag twice, so there's a good chance you miss. Where if we go into the yellow, this thing is very interesting. No, this thing is very interesting, there we go. Because heavy into tag only deals 140.5, but if we have the orange heavy and the blue tag, we will actually deal 150.5, which is interesting to me because you will hit all of your shots very consistently with the heavy. It only means that you need to hit with the tactical as well. So that is where rarity really matters. And also heavy into heavy. If you have a two purple, you will only deal 147. But if you have a purple and a legendary orange, you will deal 150.5. So that's why it really matters. I didn't think before I looked into the stats that the heavy shotguns were much differently, other than a bit of damage points here and there. But this is actually a huge thing you should consider. That you're not gonna kill a guy with 150 health with 2 heavy shotgun shots, unless you headshot them, of course. Where with 3 flashes, 3 shots, it doesn't matter. So this, you can take a screenshot of this if you want to use it yourself, just to kind of realize what you want to do. because I think I'm still gonna stick with double pumping just because it seems more consistent overall. But let's move on to shooting after editing, because there's also some speed going into that. And I'll roll some clips while I speak, where the shooting after editing with the pump is 14 milliseconds, and shooting after editing with the tactical is 11 milliseconds, and shooting after editing with the heavy is 10 milliseconds. This means that the fastest shotgun after an edit is a heavy by 1 millisecond from the tech. But which this is really interesting, because this means that the tactical is the heavy should always be picked up over the tactical, but a lot of the time you don't have the option to choose either if you want a heavy or not, because it's a rare weapon, where the tactical only has 11 milliseconds and the pump has 14 milliseconds. That means that you can, after an edit, you can hit an enemy and he will hit you after you hit him. So if he's low, you will kill him before he even hits you, which is really important. And shooting and then building a wall is, with the pump it's 9 milliseconds, with the tech it's 8 milliseconds, and with the heavy it's 6 milliseconds. So the heavy wins by a long shot here, with almost 33% over the pump. So this is also very interesting, that there's 3 milliseconds, that it's 3 milliseconds faster using the heavy than the pump, but only 1 with the pump and the tech. But if you shoot and then build a platform below you, the pump will use 11 milliseconds for the platform to build, and the tactical will build in 9 milliseconds, and the heavy will build in 8 milliseconds. So again, the heavy is just the clear winner, but the tactical is still far ahead of the pump in the speeding of how you shoot and build. So here, in the end, I'm gonna go into my personal opinion about it, where in early game, if you're landing and have the decision to either pick up one of the shotguns, the tactical or the pump, there's a lot of situations where you see a tactical and a pump on a roof maybe going tilted, where you have to consider, if you pick up the pump, then you have to headshot the guy to kill him, because otherwise the guy with the tactical only needs 1.5 seconds to kill you because of the fire rate of 1.5. Also, it requires you to hit the opponent 2 times with the tactical. But I would say that the tactical is the more consistent and more safe way to go for. So I would land on the tactical. In the mid to early game, originally I expected to debunk the tactical shotgun completely due to high inconsistency and low damage, as we've looked into. But again, looking into the stats, it's surprised me of how much faster the tactical is at actually like shooting and editing and placing platforms. And this has made me open my eyes to the tactical shotgun. And I would never use the tactical as my only shotgun, because you can't even kill a guy with 150 health with 2 shots from the blue tactical, as it only deals 148 damage if every pellet hits the body, but not taking the headshots into account. So you can kill a guy in 2 shots, you just need to hit a lot of headshots with the first shot or the second. But if you have a pump alongside a green or blue tactical, then you still have the versatility to hit people faster than you after you edit, while still killing people from 150 health in 2 shots, going from pump into tactical. But I would never use the gray tactical, because it cannot be paired up with the green pump. Because if we take the tactical and the green pump, that's only 147 damage, which is a huge which is a huge difference. And also, something I didn't consider before is that the ghost peeking is way easier and way faster than using it with a pump. But I'm definitely going to use the blue and green tactical more. But for the majority of time, I'm still gonna stick with the double pump and then switching them for heavy shotguns. And I'm always gonna, like, if I use a pump into a tactical, I'm still always gonna pick the heavy shotgun over the tactical, as it is faster in every regard. Granted that it doesn't have a faster fire rate, but when editing and such. So that's, like, looking into the stats, the heavy shotgun is just king of the shotguns, where the tactical has its place in high level gameplay, and the pump is just consistent all around. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you could use this for anything. The next video is gonna be on the weapon stats, and then we're gonna get into the aiming, which is gonna be fun. Remember to leave a subscription, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.